We have officially finished Dragon Age the Veilguard, and well, I have some thoughts. Overall, I think it is a fantastic game, but there are some things that I'm a bit iffy about. But these are going to be my opinions. There are going to be spoilers for Dragon Age the Veilguard, so if you do not want to hear those spoilers, please do not watch the video or finish the game and then come back to the video. Also, all of the footage that you're about to see is my own footage that we got from stream, so anything might look different from your game, obviously, and excuse the PNG and whatever chat says. But yeah, come straight from stream. Okay, let's start off with character customization. For starters, it's fantastic. It really is. We have so many more options compared to the previous games. We have way more hairstyles, which is something I wanted for such a long time. I loved creating characters in the other games, but something that I truly wanted was more hairstyles that I could only really get through modding. So I am really appreciative of that. You have different skin types, and the only problem is the way the Canary looks. I don't know, the Canary just look weird to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because they're yassified. I'm like, I don't know. It's like they've made them more beautiful. But there's so much more options than previous games. I think they've really done well with creating a character. There are also many body types that you can be, but I really wanted an elf, and normally when I picture an elf, I picture tall and scrawny. I don't know, that's just how I've always pictured elves. But in this game, you can only be buff. There's no lack of muscle option, and also I was pretty short for an elf. I would compare myself to other characters in game, and I really wasn't that tall. I didn't enjoy that aspect, but you still have so many options, so it's not really that big of a flaw. More just a me type of preference. You also have 3 classes that you can choose from: rogue, warrior, and a mage. And then you also have the option after that to then pick a faction, which I think is super cool. All the factions looked really dope. I went with the Morn Watcher, because necromancy, obviously, awesome. And I do want to try out the other factions in the future. There's definitely replayability. That kind of gave me like Origins vibes. And I think possibly you're going to get different options when you play, because there were certain options I played as the Morn Watcher that I could pick compared to, I'm guessing, another faction. So I really did enjoy that, and I think, yeah, the factions are really dope. And then towards the end of character customization, there's something called Past Adventures, the Inquisition, which basically allows you to create your Inquisitor, which I didn't end up doing because I was like, well, you're not going to have my options that I had for my Inquisitor. And then you just have like a few options, really not many options to click from, which means Dragon Keep is gone, which is so annoying because before this game came out, I definitely did go back to my Dragon Keep to try and fix things up, make sure my story was all set. And I found that as I was playing it, we really didn't get much story from Origins and 2. It was a lot of just Inquisition stuff, even though later on you do see characters from the older games, like Morrigan is in the game, which obviously is from Origins. But yeah, it really didn't feel like Origins and 2 had much input into the game, and I don't know how it goes from saving our past from those games, or if it's just your Inquisition story. But again, you don't have many options from Inquisition, so I found that quite strange, especially seeing the past games. It really did matter what you picked and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's just like a normal save state world, or what it is, who knows. But yeah, that option is there. It's just not as exciting as I thought it would be compared to other games. Next up, we have combat. This is going to be a controversial one because personally for me, and I know people are going to have different opinions about it, but I found the combat super freaking fun. And honestly, oh god, y'all are going to hate me for this. It's my favorite combat out of all of the games. I just found it more responsive and easier to use. I liked the abilities, I liked the skill tree, I don't know, it was super fun to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I had fun with the combat in the previous games, but at the end of the day, this has become my favorite combat. It's very like Dark Souls. You have the barrel rolls, you know, I was rolling for days to avoid attacks. You have a shield, you have your abilities, you have your companions' abilities, which you can also, depending on what companions have got and what abilities they've got, you can combine them to do a really good ability. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know this combat's not going to be for everyone. It's very button mashy, and I know that's not fun for everyone. But for me, personally, I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun with it. But you really just do need to try it for yourself, because again, it is not for everyone. Which is kind of funny, because there was a joke in chat from one of the viewers saying that this Dragon Age reminded them very much of Dark Souls with the combat and some of the scenery, and we were having an argument in chat being like, no, it's not like Dark Souls, but it is like Dark Souls, and everyone in chat was going on about it. So I guess for some people, they kind of, if they're not a Dragon Age fan, do see it as a Dark Souls type of combat as well. So yeah, I guess it just depends on what type of combat you find enjoyable. But I definitely love this one, and I'm excited to replay it again so I can have even more fun with it. Next up, let's talk about the companions. I absolutely love the companions, but in saying that, I don't think there's ever been a Dragon Age game where I've gone, damn, I hate this companion. I don't know, every companion in every game, there's just a little bit of something about them. Cole will forever be my favorite. I love that man so much, but in this game we have a companion from each faction that comes to join you. We have Lucanus, Nev, Davrin, who I romanced in my first playthrough. I love him. We have Tash, we have Belial, we have Emmerich, and then finally we also have Lace Harding, who you know from previous Dragon Age games. It is amazing that we get to see more of Harding. She's wonderful. I am definitely going to be romancing her in my next playthrough. So I think they did really well with the companions and mixing that into the factions as well, and that also then makes it easier to do quests for them, which gets you reputation in the factions that they are in. And then whatever faction you are in, you get more, it's easier to gain reputation with that faction. So for me, because I was with Emmerich, in the Morn Watchers, it was a lot easier for me to get reputation by doing quests with them, and we leveled that up super quick. The companions also have story quests like in previous Dragon Age games. I think those companion quests are really well done. Towards the end of those quests, you are given some options that kind of shapes who they are and what they become. And depending also, there are certain choices throughout the game that can also impact your companions as well that isn't their quests. Like an option is to choose which place you want to save from a dragon attack, and because of my choices, one of the companions, Nev, got hardened from that, which then made it harder to level Nev up, and I had to really suck up to make her love me again. But at the end, she came back, you know? But yeah, I think the companions are really well done. I loved them. I want to romance all of them. And I'm excited to see if we will potentially maybe see them in the future, because by the end of the game, my ending at least, because there is a rumor there's 4 endings. I'm not this is just what I've been told, you know? With my ending, it kind of led open to possibly being another game, so maybe we will see these characters again in the future. Now, before we get into my thoughts about the story itself, I would like to just point out that where home base is called the Lighthouse, and honestly, I actually really enjoyed it. I liked where we are, that we were kind of in our own little realm type of thing. There was little secrets and hints. It's not too big, you're not going to get lost. Also, there's no loading screens when going into different rooms, which was incredible. That was one thing that very much annoyed me with Inquisition, was either going to my bedroom or something, and even without a cutscene, you would have that freaking loading screen. So I appreciate that loading screen not being in it now. But yeah, I really liked the Lighthouse, especially when we got the eclipse. It was absolutely beautiful, and I liked that everyone had their own rooms and stuff like that. I liked that you could customize your lighthouse and statutes and whatever else. I thought that was a really nice touch. Now, the story itself. Alright, it had some high parts and it had some low parts. When you go to the rating for the game, it says 17 plus mature rating, but I feel like it really didn't need that. I feel like compared to other previous Dragon Age games, it was definitely toned down for like a younger audience. I felt like there really wasn't, at least I don't remember any swearing. The romance was lacking compared to other games. Like when I was romancing Davrin, I only got one date scene, and then even the love-making scene was right towards the end of the game, and it was very tame. Even though in the settings there is a nudity option that you can have on or off, I had mine off because I'm 18 plus, I don't care about nudity, I've seen it all, I've got my own boobs, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I was kind of a bit upset with how tame it was, especially like in previous games. Like remember Origins, like you would have one battle and you were absolutely covered in blood. In this one, I feel like you even barely saw blood, so I didn't quite understand the rating. And like, look, this isn't a bad thing. I wish it had been a bit more adult orientated. In saying that, again, the story wasn't bad. It was fantastic to continue on the story of Solus and find out, you know, where we went from Inquisition, and I got to finally have the happy ending with my Inquisitor and Solus, which is what I wanted from Inquisition, even though my heart got broken. So, like, I just wish it had that bit more maturity, and that's probably kind of the only thing that was really lacking with the story, was just that maturity. Besides that, I really did enjoy the story. There are a couple of moments that completely broke my heart. Spoilers, if you've come this far and you're still watching and you haven't finished the game, and you didn't listen to the first spoiler warning, big spoiler warning now, okay? Stop, pause, finish the game, and come back. The video will still be here. But at one point for my ending, Harding died, and it broke my fucking heart. I cried. And then at one point it hit me while we're in the fade that Varric has been dead from the fucking start. I will put that clip in right now that you can see, so you can see my reaction on stream. I cried on stream. So embarrassing, but it genuinely broke my heart. So damn, I really been crying at a video game again. Oh, I hope that's not all endings. I think so, yeah. Which means we've been seeing him the whole time. Oh, we've had him since the second game. Oh my god. You need a lucky ducky, yeah. Breathe, 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 breathe. Can't see anything, my glasses are fogged. My glasses are fogging up.
Ritual site. You've been dead all along. Whenever I've been talking to you, asking for advice, I've been talking to myself. Because you're dead.
Yeah. Sorry about that, kid.
I think I knew. I definitely didn't know.
I'm sorry, Varric.
For what?
For not saving you.
Dude, what a twist!
Didn't you learn anything from this place? I made the choice to talk to him, to try to reach him, even knowing the risks, because he was my friend. My decision, my sacrifice, and you don't get to take that from me.
Yo, motherfuckers, wanted me to stream this.
This one just came a little earlier than I planned.
The story definitely did impact me, and it was a good story, but yeah, I wish it had been a bit more ready for an older age. Especially because a lot of the Dragon Age fans that have been Dragon Age fans from the beginning are older now and are, like, adults. And I get they're probably trying to cater for a new audience, but even if you're catering for a new audience, they're still going to go back to those games, and they are more gruesome, and they are more for adults compared to this game. Granted, I know it has been a long time in between Inquisition and Veilguard, you know, and you saw on Twitter and all that stuff, like, development, it's gone through different writers and stuff like that. I'm not even 100% sure on how much of the original team is even left at BioWare. So that also could have been a contribution, but again, like I said, they also could be catering for a new audience to be introduced into Dragon Age, and maybe they didn't want all that adult stuff in there. But why then have the rating if you're not going to deliver on that? But yeah, overall, like I said, I was super happy with the story. I loved it. I think I'm definitely going to be playing it many times. I think it is a great addition to the Dragon Age franchise, and I'm very excited for future projects, because like I said, in my ending, and I don't know if it is the same for all endings, because again, I've only played through it once so far because I really wanted to get my thoughts out for this video. But with my ending, it looks like it opens up into another game, and it looks like, by the slideshows, it looks like we've also somehow impacted the past games. I know there was an article that came out that said there's going to be no DLC, or at least not for a while. Which was good, because at least it wasn't an Inquisition situation where we finished the game, but there wasn't a real ending. You needed the DLC for that. So that was really nice to see. But yeah, I know the devs in an article were talking about how there won't be any DLC, and I don't remember if it was for a while or never. I'm assuming for a while, because they are now going to be working on the next Mass Effect game. Which I do like Mass Effect, but I do prefer Dragon Age, so I would actually prefer more Dragon Age content. But I know that the Dragon Age fans out there will keep me fed with art and fan fictions and whatever else. But yeah, that's the end. Overall, I think this is a great addition to Dragon Age. I thoroughly enjoy the game. I think I would give it a rating out of like 8 out of 10. Like I said, there were a couple of things that kind of maybe brought that down, that didn't give it that perfect score. And actually, there was kind of some bugs. I don't know if I have the footage for it, because I think I played this part offline. But I was talking to Morrigan, and like my leg just kept jittering. But also walking across planks, oh my god, sometimes that would bug out a little bit. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will play the heck out of it. And I know you guys might have other thoughts, but I think it's a wonderful game. And I definitely recommend trying it and checking it out. If you're a new fan to Dragon Age and you found this video somehow, definitely please do check out the Dragon Age Veilguard. But yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to my opinions. I do apologize for not making a video for a while. I got sick after PAX and then this kind of came out and I knew I wanted to do a review on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully my next video won't be as long to take or make, sorry. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and if you like, please leave a comment and a like, as it really helps the algorithm out. Share it with your friends or whatever, subscribe, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you in future videos.